Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we failed an invasion out over here. It was worth a try, and now we know what exactly is on that island. Unfortunately for us, our troops decided to take what is perhaps the world's most awkward path to return back. They retreated through the Suez Canal, all the way around Africa, all the way around Europe, and then are coming back in Sweden. I don't know why they chose to do this, but here we are. So we need to proceed forward, of course, and we do have the access to do some region-wide industrial integration and industrial land appropriation, which I do absolutely want to do. Reason being, I do want to get production on some synthetic refineries here. Now, this is not for the fuel. We have plenty of fuel. This is for the rubber. So where can we build these? Well, we can build one here, and we can build one here due to that. Okay, so that looks good for now. We'll get that going, and that'll just get us some, domestic sources of rubber, which would be a very good thing. I want to check in on our production here. How are we doing on tanks? Well, we are progressing okay. We need about 5,100 tanks. That's fine. We're definitely making progress there. We're currently making about 1.26 per day here. This is going to ramp up quite a lot yet, and that's fine. So this is an armored division and an infantry division. The infantry division will hop over here. And yes, leading too many units, all stats will be reduced. That's understood. For the time being, we're going to let that be. Once it gets too much larger, we'll probably split this into multiple garrison units, but that'll be fine for now. This armored division is going to hop in over here. Excellent. And the question that I have now is, how long until these are activated? 40 days and 32 days of progress, respectively, so it's going to be a while. That's fine. These infantry divisions should be, I believe, yeah, both of these are going to be not our infantry division. Are you going to be our infantry division? Probably not. Yeah, you are not, and you shouldn't be either. So that should be absolutely fine to sort them in here. And if we look at this now, we can see it's leading too many units. All stats are now reduced by 9.7%. So that stat reduction has doubled. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the area defense order, and they are no longer going to be responsible for area defending down this way. So the current minimum division is 327. So what we're going to do is we're going to look to divide this roughly in half, about like that or so. This is still more divisions than we have here, obviously. But we'll just do something about like that. And now I'm going to split off, it looks like 7 units. So that's 7 there. We're going to move that into a new force. And then they are going to start area defending from here. There we go. Okay, that highlights so we can see. That's very convenient. They're going to area defend, not like that. I want them to only area defend coastal areas. So something along the lines of this. Now, that's only 136. I suppose we could have them area defend down here, but I don't feel like we need to. So this is 136 divisions. We can probably toss in an extra roughly 2 or 3 here. That's 197. Let's see what happens if we withdraw out over this direction. 208. That's pretty close. Okay, we'll call that good then. So these guys, of course, are going to need a lot more troops to actually garrison that area, but that's okay. We don't mind that whatsoever. We're going to continue to tick forward, and how are we doing on our research at this point? Well, Electric Torpedo is finishing up right now, and we're nearly done with our ship support researches. I'm going to back off very slightly on these and hop over to industry, because I want to be getting additional rubber production from our synthetic refineries. So I'm going to get going on that. That'll be fine. We're just throwing 1 research slot over there for the time being. So that looks good. It is, of course, 1947. We're not too concerned about how long this game ends up taking. In fact, we're in absolutely no rush right now. It's currently 88% world tension, and we are perfectly happy to let this world tension drop off a little bit. We've generated 87.4, and that's understandable. So it's going down by 0.5% per month, and so the longer we just kind of chill here, to a certain degree, the better off we are. So this needs to go in here, and you need to go in here. Okay. I wouldn't mind getting a commander promoted here. So we would need to promote this guy. That will cost us a good amount of our command power, but that's understood. And we'll put this guy in here. There we go. And that'll do just fine for now. So we're going to have 2 forces out defending our Asian coast. And we'll probably toss in the other coastal areas out over here eventually. This light tank template can move in here. That's absolutely fine. What else do we have here? Nothing? Okay. So I want to check in on what we have going on navally over here right now. And yes, I see these guys very awkwardly heading over. So what do we have going on here navally? 73% naval supremacy right now. Okay, that seems reasonably fine. So we're making solid progress over here, of course. We need these guys to make their way back to Sweden, and once they get there, they should shift over pretty quickly on the railways, in theory. So they should definitely get there before full preparation of their invasion. So that's absolutely great. It'll be about 60 days, and that's absolutely okay. And here, it'll be about 66. These guys have already arrived, of course, and that's fine. So this is all looking relatively good. Now, we could do another industrial land appropriation, and I'm going to do that. I want to have that domestic source of rubber, right? And that means building right here. So we'll get going on that. We've got a bunch of these military factories still queued up, and we're going to continue to work through those military factories. In fact, there's a lot of things just generally queued up here that we need to work on. There's a bunch of civilian factories, and that's all absolutely fine. We're very, very happy to do that. So this armored division is now done. This is, of course, one of our armored divisions, and we want to bring that into this army. This infantry division is going to head out to this garrison unit. We can see, though, that this is very sparsely garrisoned here. There's no doubt about that. Very, very sparsely garrisoned. That isn't surprising in the slightest. I'm thinking a third garrison force down here to garrison all of the little island bits, including potentially Taiwan. Likely including Taiwan. We're currently short on rubber. That's not hugely surprising. So this is because of Peru, well, not really because of Peru, Bolivia. This is because we need more rubber. This is not shocking in the slightest. We have these 3 infantry divisions, and these are our infantry division templates. So where do we want these 3 to go? Well, definitely here. Now the question becomes, do we actually want to be making any additional infantry units? Well, we can have them in a reserve, but we may not want... Well, I think recruiting 3 is fine. Yeah, we can hold them in some sort of a reserve, or put them in an offensive grouping over here. But we could also just put them into our defensive areas, and just hold them in reserve. That is a theoretical option, and not necessarily a terrible one. So looking at our naval situation over here, 66%. Okay. We're definitely working on that. Our ships are hot garbage, and we know that. That's not actually a problem. Yes, we are lacking 2 rubber now. We're working on dealing with that rubber issue. So we have some synthetic refineries online at this point. That's good. And we are going to be... I think we have a total of 2 synthetic refineries. So that's giving us +4 rubber. I'm just wondering, can we see our overall number of synthetic refineries? That would be a good thing to be able to see. Unfortunately, I don't think that we can. This Mountaineer division can get sorted in down over here. But yeah, the lack of rubber is definitely ramping up, and that will continue to ramp up as we get these military factories completed, which is not surprising, all things considered. In eastern Afghanistan, I'm going to remove 2 of these factories, and we're going to put more synthetic refineries in there. So that goes in right over here, just like that. 2 additional synthetic refineries going in there. That'll bump us up by +4 in terms of fuel, or rather, in terms of rubber. However, that's not going to be enough. We need a lot more rubber than what we're making here. That said, how many more are going to be tossed into plane production? Because that's where this rubber is going. So, plane production, we can only get 6 more military factories into. Interesting. I'm going to do this, prioritizing the modern small airframe. But I'm also going to do this. I want more tank production, and that'll be fine. We do see these guys finally starting to make their way around here, so that's good. They'll make their way in over here eventually. Some of them already have, so that is absolutely excellent. We'll tell these guys to start as soon as they can, but that's still about 20 days out. So we have this armored division done. That'll head in here. Looks good. And we definitely need a lot more rubber. So that's all relatively fine. We are, I think, going to be relatively okay on our rubber count. That said, I'm going to cancel perhaps a couple more of these factories. Specifically, 2 here in Tver, and 1 in Volhynia, and 1 in Moscow. So that's going to be additional synthetic refineries, and we're going to get going on that. There should be 1 additional around somewhere. We got these 2 going. There should be another one. Ah, Volhynia. Yes. There we go. So that will be absolutely fine. And we can always build additional synthetic refineries in Spain. That would absolutely be a thing that we could do. So we'll get there eventually. But we can also continue to conquer down over this way and get additional rubber out of it. So that'll be absolutely fine. So we've got these foreign influences that we certainly could do. We're a bit short on political power right now. And a lot of that is due to our focus, as well as escort ship manufacturer, apparently. That's, I think, due to researches. Okay, so that looks reasonably fine. We can do region-wide and industrial land appropriation, so that'll help us as well. That said, this does reduce our war support and our base stability, whereas this doesn't. So we should probably prioritize using the 100 one over using the other. So that'll be fine. Improved rubber processing has finished, and we definitely want to keep heading down here. This will give every single synthetic refinery that we're building plus 1 rubber production, which is a big deal for us right now when we're sitting at minus 15 rubber, right? So that is absolutely fantastic. I want to check in. Okay, so we are maxed out on our MiG-9 production. We're producing about 1 per day right now, and we're going to see our production efficiency continue to go up. So that's going to be about 3 per day in the MiG-9s. I think for the moment, that'll be okay. We may need to ramp that up a bit more later, but for now, I'm reasonably content with stockpiling those. So that's okay. We definitely need a lot more T-54 production, and we are certainly going to continue to work on that. But that does mean that our rubber situation is not going to be getting worse. So that's good. We do see currently each of these is going to be producing 3 rubber at this point. So this is going to be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and 21 rubber. So that alone, not counting this advanced rubber processing, will put us positive in rubber. So we don't have a problem there. That seems absolutely fine. These guys are going to depart in about 3 days, assuming the naval situation is there for that. And these guys are going to depart in about 9 days, again, assuming the naval situation is there. So let's see what the naval situation actually looks like out over here. We have 69% naval supremacy, which I'm contractually obligated to say nice to. Fantastic. So we are going to be departing as soon as we have enough naval supremacy, which looks like we do. Here we go. So we're going to be launching our attack here with infantry. We'll see if they have that garrisoned. I haven't noticed any garrison troops there. And then we're going to be attacking here with tanks, and we'll see how that ends up going. That'll be real interesting. Have the tanks departed? I think not yet. Nope, they have departed. Okay, so off they go. We're going to be landing out over here and taking Abysia if it's not defended. Looks like it's not defended. So we just get this for free. Beautiful. So now that we have that, we need to immediately work on a couple of things here. Naval base? Absolutely. That is top priority. We need a naval base here. I also want to put in anti-air here. I also want to work on any infrastructure here that we can. And I want to work on an air base here and a radar station here. So all of those things are being worked on, and those are all very, very high priority. So we're going to get that completed. This gives us a toehold over here, but we need to construct our infrastructure to make that actually work. These guys are going to head out over here. And we did just finish up a research slot here. Let's grab the advanced dual-purpose battery. That'll be fine. And we can unlock traits in our escort ship manufacturer. Looks like at this point we basically just need to take submarine hunters, and that'll be fine. Fantastic. We also have a research slot available here, and I'm going to grab diesel-powered emergency brakes. That will be a solid upgrade for us, and we'll get a bonus on that. Cool. So now the question is, how will this attack go with tanks? I mean, I don't think they're amphibious, so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up going. I'm not necessarily convinced that this is going to go well, to be clear. But we'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting. So the magnetic mine research has finished up at this point, and we definitely want to work on degaussing. So we want to avoid more naval mines when possible. That will be a very useful thing for us. They have a lot of troops out here. But if we take this, they're all stack wiped. So that's good to know. We are going to give that guy over to our South Asia Defense Force. And we're going to see how this ends up going. We're currently winning it. Now, our tanks are very good on the offense. We'll see how that ends up going. They just built an airbase here. That did not exist moments ago. That's convenient for us. Okay, so we're currently winning this battle, and we'll see if we manage to take this over. If we do, that would be fantastic. We'd be absolutely delighted by that. For the moment, of course, we still need to work down over here. We need quite a lot over there. So that first level of naval base isn't going to be completed until 2 May. That's okay. We built this airbase, didn't we? Oh, that's weird that the airbase built here when we don't control it. Okay, I guess we're definitely building that airbase. Good thing we're going to take this over, because that would be awkward otherwise. We definitely want that airbase, of course, and the naval base is out over here, I believe. No, the naval base is per island. Okay, because this is still a level 0 naval base, and this is a level 1 naval base here. One of our tanks is retreating. There goes another tank. We are, however, winning this battle. So for the moment, that seems reasonably fine. Our tank divisions should break through here. It looks like. Possibly. But of course, we need to break into the Spanish mainland. This gives us a toehold from which to launch much simpler attacks. And that will be great. We're estimating that this battle will last another 6 days. There's ladder shooting done, and we do have a couple of armored divisions. This infantry division is not one of ours, so that's going to head out over here. This mountaineer division is as well. Both of these armored divisions are ours, and so we'll hop into this army. Okay, cool. Now, I want to take a look at how we're doing here. This number has continued to come down, despite our tanks definitely being lost in this engagement. We're losing some tanks, for sure. So this is a good sign, but this isn't like widespread warfare, right? We definitely still need a lot of tanks, and we're going to keep working on that. But we have now taken this over, and to that end, well, we've got this Mountaineer division. That can hop out over here for now. And we do have a research slot available. I want to grab shell dies, which will spend some experience on boosting. That'll be okay. And then we'll grab the acoustic mine. Perfect. So that seems fine for right now. We now have access to this airbase, which is huge. And we do need to upgrade this naval base, like so. We'll get that going. That is a high priority. We could also build synthetic refineries out over here, which would be an interesting thing to do. I'm not sure if we want to, but it would definitely be an interesting thing to do. I guess we can get that going. We don't need to construct any radar stations. These are state-level buildings here, so that should be absolutely fine. As far as this airbase goes, we can now utilize this as an unsinkable aircraft carrier. And that, of course, means I want to send out a wing of MiG-9s. And that'll be fine. There's only 158 of them. I mean, sure. How do we actually get rid of this? Okay, we just click there. Noted. I guess 100 MiG-9s will do for now. So we'll get them out here, and their mission is going to be to achieve air superiority for now over the Western Mediterranean. So that is going to be the goal. They're actually attacking us here. That is ambitious. Okay. We should attack them and just eliminate them. Actually, we're not succeeding that attack, so I'm going to not do that for now. Do we have additional units on the way in here? We do not. Now we do. So that's fine. We can just let these guys take some attrition for the time being, and this air wing has arrived, so that is perfect. There are currently 500 planes here, mostly from Sweden and the Ottoman Empire. Okay, but we can see our range here is perfect over all of Iberia. That is excellent. For now, the only place we're interested in fighting is the Western Mediterranean, but later that will change. So for now, that seems absolutely okay, and we'll have our planes fighting out over here. Now, we are going to be working on radar as well as anti-air out in this area, and that will help us control this as well. So that's looking good. We're going to have a level of radar done on 9 May, so in only 3 days here. These guys have no source of supplies at this moment. And we're just kind of waiting for our additional unit of tanks to arrive here. Where are those? Okay, they're shifting over, but it'll take them a little bit. I'm going to tell these guys to offensive line out over here. And they can execute that, but they don't have to do it, like, tremendously quickly, right? They can just get started on that, and we can just whittle down the supplies. That'll be a bit attritional, but that's okay. We, after all, have a source of supplies over here, and they do not. So that seems absolutely fine. And these guys are eventually going to plan an attack out over this direction. But for the moment, this is, of course, going to be mildly awkward. Now, we may want to build a supply hub over here, although we've got the naval bases, which will function as a supply hub, now that I think about it, so that isn't really all that necessary. We do have a bunch of constructions over here that we need to work on, though, so that's okay. So obviously, these attacks over here are not going so well, but that's fine. They don't have to go well. They have no source of supplies here, so we just need to whittle down their supplies a little bit. I want to make sure that these guys are not set to aggressively attack, and they're not, so that's good. We just want to whittle that down. I want to see how we're doing in the air war in the Mediterranean here. So we can see that they are definitely running a few more planes than we are. Air superiority of about 25%. Okay. But they definitely have more fighters in the skies here than we do. That's fine. Our our Air Force is very new, right? We don't have a lot of factories thrown at this modern small airframe. We're only producing 1.7 per day right now. So that's absolutely fine. But we can throw more planes in here if we wanted to. That said, this airbase is currently at a capacity of 1,500 out of 1,400 airplanes. So that is mildly awkward. We appear to have a lot of people sending airframes over here. I'm going to send in all of these interwar small airframes, and that'll be fine. We're going to bring these 700 airplanes in here, and they are going to do air superiority out here as well. So that's going to require our allies to pull some planes out of there, and these planes are crap, right? Absolute crap. But we're just throwing numbers at the problem, and there we go. We've got air superiority. Perfect. So these planes are definitely crap, but we want to take down as many as we can, right? We just want to attrition these guys a little bit. Advanced dual-purpose batteries are done. That's fine. And this infantry division will head out over here. This armored division will go here. This armored division will go here. And this infantry division here. This infantry division should go, I believe, into a new army, or we could just send them out here. You know what? I'm going to do a new army here. This is dedicated for our troops, and this is going to be kind of our infantry reserve. So we can do an area defense that is going to be targeting basically everywhere out in the Pacific here. So that would include these areas down here. That would also include, is that us? Yes, well, maybe. Maybe this stuff is us. Maybe it isn't. We can apparently choose locations that we don't hold. So, you know, that's exciting. Some of these is us, some of them is not. This is definitely us. And we would want to then come down to Australia as well. So it would be something kind of like this, down here, here, here. And I believe we control a small area here as well. So it's something along the lines of that is what we control out here. So that's the idea there. This is mostly going to be our reserve force. Now, these guys can forget about area defending Taiwan. That is not necessary because that is now under area defense here. Oh, I didn't grab Philippines. We should absolutely be doing that, and Borneo as well. So something along the lines of that. Okay. So that's fine for now. And then we've got these guys that are going to go in there as well. Cool. We have a research slot available, and that is definitely going to end up being... Actually, we have nothing to research over here. That's noted. We could certainly continue to work on our improved oil processing. So we'll just do that for now. That'll be okay. So all things considered, this is looking reasonably fine. We don't have a lot of supply flow through this level 1 naval base. We're going to be working on upgrading that, of course. These guys have no supply flow whatsoever, though. So that's, of course, not great for them. That is definitely not great for them. But it'll take us some time to get this area consolidated and built up to the level that we want it to be. No doubt about that. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue our attack over the Western Mediterranean. And once we have that secured, we are going to look to attack the Spanish mainland. We have a very good vantage point here, and the question is, what's it going to take us to get in there? Also, why is this attack still here? Let's get rid of that. Perfect. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all this time? No, not this time. It's going to be next time. I got mildly distracted there, clearly.